What about the culture and the people then? How important is that for you?
Now, if I can start, I mean, I think for me, for Lars, and for the others, it's very important to be seen as a sort of a good person to the customer and to everyone around us. We don't like to be treated in a bad way by others, so we don't tend to do that. We don't want to be the big US companies that handle things in a certain way, very direct and be very strict to the agreement. We would like to be the flexible partner that you can have a discussion with, and you can give and take a bit if you come into a challenge, because you're gonna be in challenges sometimes with deliveries and so on, and then you give and take. Okay, you think like that, and I think like this, but we still would like to be the reasonable partner all the time, and I think that's the culture, and we would like to give everything that the customer is happy, obviously, as well, and that's been there from the start, because I mean, starting a bit late in this area, we knew we had to make every customer happy, and then we were really fighting for everything. Now we are in another position, but we still want to be the friendly guy that you can call and discuss things with, and if you're unhappy with something, just give us a call, and we'll keep in the dialogue and try to sort it out for them. So yeah, it's definitely in the culture.
Yeah, and I think also very important is always work in teams and help each other. And I think what we have no walls, organizational walls between sales, delivery, and development. So it's like we're one company, and we don't look at ourselves as different entities, even though we have different roles. If developers understand how the customers use the application, it's good for them, because it means they can develop better things versus being locked away and just given a specification.
So what are you looking for in individuals when you hire in order to get this match?
Yeah, that's a good question. Personally, I look for people who are driven. They need to be passionate about developing and supply chain. They need to like what the customers do with the application. They need to have an interest in that, and self-going as well. We're not the SAP with clear instructions always on how to do everything, but sometimes you need to come up with your own ideas and document things which is not documented, etc. So I think you need to like to work in a small company. Even though we're a bit bigger now, it's still that smallish company culture that you live in every day.
But it must be a bit difficult to transcend from being this small company to be the more mid-sized software company now. Because you need a little bit more structure, of course, and clear roles and responsibilities and so on. There's a certain amount of bureaucracy that you actually need in order to grow. Are you in this transition now, or?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak for development. We are very much in that transition as we speak, and we have been for 5 years. So it's constantly we are adding more structure, and for us it's very much a question of getting rid of the dependency on individuals and having more overlap. So it's more people should maybe not be the expert on everything, but at least understand code in different areas, and that's important for many reasons. It's also important so developers don't feel they are locked into a specific box for the rest of their lives. So what we have been doing for the last years is to always work together. We never have developers working on their own. You always have a colleague, as a bouncing board, and sometimes working together. And so it's overlap and redundancy, I would say, as well. Sometimes you need to have people, just supporting other people without being responsible for their own deliveries. So it comes with size. That I agree completely. You need more structure when you have a bigger team versus 5 people.
And then from the European perspective, obviously there's the same thing. We are reaching 25 now and have been driven the company in a similar way, although slightly developing for every year. And now we start to see that we need people almost in every place. We are growing our partnerships with external players. We are growing ourselves. We need more in support. We need to, I mean, the selling has become, we have so many leads. We have so many companies contacting us. So it takes a lot of work to do that. So we need to increase in sales. Our consultants that we originally recruited as sort of directly from university has grown, I mean, more experienced and so on. And some of them will grow into maybe consultant manager roles and be able to coach the others and teach them and so on. So, but yeah, I mean, looking ahead for the next 2 years, I would say from our organization, it's 15, 20 employees that we would probably are going to add during the next 2 years. And that's because of the growth, to be able to cope with that in a good way and not say no so much. I mean, we are saying no quite a lot at the moment because we need to focus on the things we can do. But I mean, that also means there's a huge opportunity there. So by adding the people and the structure, we are able to grow more rapidly.
So what you need is primarily salespeople, but also developers, of course, technical people. Is that the main categories of employees that you need right now to move ahead with them, grow further?
From our perspective, it's a lot about being able to deliver the project, the solution architects, the one with experience that can lead. So solution architect / project manager, yeah, a bit more in sales as well to keep up the efforts and so on. We should do a bit more in marketing. So we, Stefan, it can be hard to find time with us. So we would need one to sort that out a bit as well. So yeah, it's definitely, that is a huge part of the growth areas.
And is it difficult right now to find these categories?
Yeah, for developers, it is very challenging actually, because we're looking for Angular expertise, for instance, and they are highly sought after by other companies. So yeah, it's a constant battle to find the people you need. But it is possible, but I wouldn't say it's easy. It's challenging.
Yeah. And when you found the people and like integrate them and so on, how do you keep them? Because that's also a big issue to really, to keep people, because there's of course a big cost if you have it.
Yeah, we've been lucky in that sense. Actually, we've lost very few developers over the years. I think it's always hard to say what it is, but I think that they have a lot of freedom with Optimity. They can work flexible hours. It's also very teamwork oriented, that we help each other when we have problems. Ideally, you should interview them, but as a matter of fact, it hasn't been a problem for us, luckily. So.
No, I know that we would do some company trips to different places and have sort of conferences in good places there. We grow together. I think sometimes I think of us more as a family, really. That sort of, okay, you can fight a bit in the family as well, can't you? But it's a very sort of a good relationship between the individuals. I think that sort of makes the team stick together. Obviously, it can't be only that, though. Obviously, we are working with the compensation schemes and those kind of things as well to reward the people that's doing the incredible efforts and so on. But all in all, I think that's the family feeling that sort of is the.
I think also part of it. I mean, we've been lucky in the sense that we've been growing 25% each year, which means that there are always new roles that develop. So if someone is bored with what that person is doing, we can find a new role. It's much harder when you're not growing, because then it becomes more static and so on. So
we did say that when we talked about the cities and so on, but I mean, currently we would like 5 to 6 persons in New York as well, or in the US, depending on where they would like to sit. And we have the international expansion as well, so we can move people into Australia if they like that as well. So I think it's very, very attractive opportunities really for people. Yeah.